So this week's been about a week of boat maintenance. Just about to finish staining the cockpit boards. I've got a repair on there, so I'm waiting for the glue to dry, but that's gone relatively easily. And yeah, the rest of the week has been spent cleaning the stainless, and there's a lot of stainless. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, but it's done. Now I've got to do the top sides and then polish the hull, which is going to take a while. I'd rather do it myself than pay somebody else to do it. The trend down here seems to be paying the locals to do it, but it's $1,000 for the hull, top sides and all the stainless. So yep, gonna do it myself. Glutton for punishment, I think. The only problem with having teak floors in the cockpit is you don't get to see the crap that's underneath. This is absolutely bloody filthy, and I only cleaned it 3 weeks ago. It just shows how much dirt you bring on board and on your feet and yeah, on your shoes sometimes. But yeah, this needs a clean. Well, that was a long and tedious job. I used a lot of Danish oil, but yeah, it's looking pretty smart. I'm pleased with that. Needs to dry a bit more. It's a little bit tacky, but yeah, good result. So recently we've had some really big swell come into the marina, and it's flattened two of the fenders. There's one, there's the other. So I pumped them up, put them back on, and they went flat again. So it's either the valve or the valve seating. So I've used JB Weld around the valve seating, and hopefully that'll do it. And there's the other one. And then coming back from the shower last night, somebody'd thrown this out. It had a 1-inch tear in it. So I thought, oh, maybe if I can repair the other two, I can repair this one. So after being covered in 5200, I sealed up the edges, or glued the edges of the tear, and then I've put a patch on top and the gaffer tapes just to hold it all in place. Whether it will work or not, I have no idea, but we could either end up with 0 working fenders, 1, 2 or 3 working fenders. Just depends. And then it'll take me about half an hour to get the 5200 off of me. I'm bloody covered in it. No matter how careful you are, I had gloves on and my finger went through the glove. So there it is. We'll see. Well, I think we've achieved partial success. The valve doesn't leak on this one, and it seems to be at the moment holding air. The seal on this doesn't leak, but the valve leaks. So 5200 and a screw, maybe that'll stop it from leaking. So that's 2 of them, and this one's blown up to put some pressure on the patch. Hopefully this will all hold it in place, and yeah, could be a result. 2 out of 3 would be good. 3 out of 3 would be a miracle. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe. But then again, it might end up as 0 out of 3, which is highly likely. One of the best things about being in a marina is you can have your laundry done, which is a luxury. And I've had this lot done, and as you can see, it was 70 pesos, about $3.50 US. Whereas when you're out on anchor, it's the Home Depot orange bucket, and wash it yourself. So yeah, marina life is good when it comes to laundry. There's a huge number of boats in the anchorage at La Cruz. As you can see, everybody's pretty well spaced out, but an awful lot of boats. It just goes on and on and on and on. And a big YouTuber, Parlay Revival, is in. Anchored right next to the channel so they can get into the bar quicker. The rather large fishing fleet at La Cruz, no wonder they can keep the market fully stocked. There's got to be 60 or 70 boats in there. They catch an awful lot of mahi-mahi. So I believe I had a bit of an incident last night. The dinghy was halfway up on the davits. I took it out of the water, and this afternoon I was reading a book, and all of a sudden the dinghy let go. From a horizontal it went vertical, and on further investigation it appears someone's cut the dyneema, because it's not a fray, it's a straight cut. And I think what happened was, because the dinghy was up, they drove a panger under the dinghy, leant over and cut one side of the dyneema, not all the way through, and must have been disturbed because it was left half cut, and that's why it collapsed this afternoon. It's definitely not a fray. There's nothing for it to rub on, and that's a clean, absolutely clean cut. Rather disturbing, but I think they were after the engine. I don't know, but yeah, gonna have to raise the dinghy higher so they can't reach it. Not good. Doesn't look very pretty, but I've doubled up on with using much thicker dyneema, and I'm also gonna, once the dinghy's up on the hoist, I'm actually going to padlock the engine to the boat, because I think they'll probably come back for a second attempt. So I've doubled up on the lines. It's got already had a fairly sturdy motor lock on it, and now I've cabled it to a padlock here as well, and it's a long way out of the water, so they can't reach up and try and cut through the dyneema. I could actually raise it a bit more, but I think that'll be fine. What a pain in the bum. I've now had a chance to talk to a few people around the marina, and it appears there's been a recent spate of theft. My next door neighbour lost a load of items off their deck and out of their cockpit, and somebody out in the Anchorage lost a dinghy and an engine. So obviously I don't know, somebody's having a go. The security in the marina is pretty poor. They do have security at the main entrance, but there's 3 other entrances with no security, so it's pretty bloody pointless, to be honest. And then you do have entry cars to get into the gate, which is a good idea. The only trouble is you can walk around the side of the gate very easily. There's no fence, you just go outside the railings and walk around. So gate security, pretty abysmal. And there's supposed to be a guy that walks around at night. He was found asleep on the dock 2 nights ago, so that's pretty pointless as well. So, but there it is. As a cruiser, you've got to be vigilant at all times. You do get lulled into a sense of security, and perhaps it takes a reminder of, you know, somebody trying to nick your dinghy, just as a wake up really. And yeah, I'll probably be very security conscious for at least the next 3 or 4 months, and until you're lulled into another sense of security. But yeah, a bit disappointing. It happens. There are certain places that have a reputation, people try and avoid them, but generally in marinas you're safe. Yeah, other people have said they've heard or lost their own dinghies with the same method. The panger comes up underneath it and lowers it down, drives off with it. You don't hear a sound. So there it is. One of the less attractive aspects of cruising life. You just got to deal with it, get on with life. There it is.
Yeah, I saw that latch and I didn't know what it meant.
Well, it means you give it power and of course